And he's standing there with his shirt off, with his shorts on. There's not a man alive who doesn't want to be built like that. They all want to be built like that. Now, the mass and the striations and the vascularity.
This version of him did, but like this version definitely did.
Having trained with Manny Pacquiao had to be a huge asset for you.
But he's always bouncing, he's always moving around.
Yes.
Like he'll bounce for like 20-something rounds. You know, he'll do his pads and he's jumping up and down, and you know, he really is an unbelievable person, unbelievable athlete, and a legend of the sport. I think as time progresses, people are really gonna appreciate his greatness.
During a recent discussion, Joe Rogan couldn't hide his admiration for Manny Pacquiao's iconic calves and incredibly shredded physique ahead of his second clash with Floyd Mayweather.
To be able to have an opportunity like that to spar 250 rounds with one of the greatest of all time. I mean, he won world titles in what, 8 divisions?
8 divisions, 13 or
Crazy.
14 world titles.
Crazy.
It will never be done again.
Crazy.
And as much as you want to see records broken, and I want to break records, that man is a one of one.
He's a one of one.
Yeah.
I mean, when he knocked down Thurman in that fight, I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
This guy's 40 years old and still can crack and still as fast as lightning.
Yeah, the power that he possesses, but it's not a thumping power, it's that explosive speed, that explosive power, the footwork he gets in position, and all of a sudden he's landed 3, 4, 5 shots and then he's angled off. A lot like I did in my fight against Lopez. A lot of that sparring paid off, and it did shape me. And I know he did put out a tweet as well, saying that I hope the sparring we did, helped you in this fight, and straight away.
That's amazing.
And I was so excited. He's a legend of the sport.
He is a legend, and he's such an unusual guy. You know what's crazy about him is his calves.
Yeah.
When you look
Massive.
at that, they're giant. They're like a thigh.
Rogan highlighted how his conditioning could play a crucial role if the legendary rivals meet again.
Titles in 8 different weight classes. Who the does that?
And the way he did it, like
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Cotto. I love this school, and the way that he beat Cotto, I didn't think nobody could ever do that to him. And it was just like, bro, what the
Well, his legs, Manny's legs are like tree trunks.
Yeah, and the
It's
hand
crazy.
speed, the power.
Speed, everything.
I just always wish that the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight would have took place.
The remarkable physique of Manny Pacquiao isn't just the result of natural genetics, but years of relentless training and discipline.
Base guaranteed purses standpoint and the back end, I mean, the deal that both fighters have with Netflix is better than any other deal Netflix has done with any other boxer till today.
So let's talk. Yeah, let's talk about the purses. Can you share how much Manny and Floyd are making?
I can't share the exact number. But let's just say if you know what they're worth, and they know what they're worth, and they know the numbers they've done before. So if the numbers didn't make sense for either of them, they wouldn't have signed on the dotted line, and we wouldn't be where we are today.
Okay, I'll ask one more. Over or under 50 million each?
Over.
Okay, that's a good benchmark to work with.
Yeah.
The first fight was billed as the fight of the century, but it failed to live up to the massive expectations, right? Fans were left with a bad taste on. After the fight, Manny said he had a shoulder injury. There were some lawsuits involved. How can this fight be different 11 years later?
It's very hard to explain this, but these guys are in better condition.
He does his pad work, he does his sparring, but then he's on the bag, he's on the shadow boxing, he's there doing the pad work. So that extra rounds just builds that conditioning and that stamina. And that's what I just found, that push more rounds. If the body can keep going, push more and more. That's what I learned.
Pacquiao follows a brutally tough routine, including early morning hill runs that have played a major role in building his iconic calves and overall physique.
The reason why, because in General Santos, the mountains that he runs and that steep hill, that's why they're so big, because he's always constantly running the mountains. And I was doing the mountain runs with him.
Yeah.
My calves started getting bigger and bigger.
beyond the uphill runs, Manny Pacquiao pushes his body through a full spectrum of intense training. From long-distance road work to explosive sprint intervals, every session is designed to sharpen stamina and speed.
No excuses. So, saya nga, alas 5, minit pa, jogging. Kaya naman strong kasi dito, strong yun.
Though naturally smaller in size, Manny Pacquiao has trained with such intensity that his physique can intimidate anyone.
So, in the years before Mayweather Pacquiao, people would run up to me on the street, run up to me in the shopping center in Vegas, run up to me in a hotel. When am I going to see Mayweather Pacquiao? And I would say, well, we don't know, but what exactly is it you think you're going to see? Oh, I can't wait. It's going to be such a great fight. No, it's not going to be a great fight. It's going to be watching somebody pluck the legs off a spider, all right? At a step-by-step method. And you're going to watch Mayweather pluck the legs off the spider that is Pacquiao. And it's going to be pretty...
Pound for pound, he can't be above Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao was a flyweight champion. Not that he turned pro at flyweight. He was good enough as a flyweight to be the lineal champion, the real champion. Now, he didn't win titles in every division. He skipped some of these, but I just want to tell you how flyweight, junior bantam, junior feather, junior light, junior welter, welter, junior middle.
He rolling.
And he laid waste to these divisions. Yeah. He fought great fighters. He never ducked anybody. Yeah. Pacquiao, to me, other than Sugar Ray Robinson, he's still one. Pacquiao is the greatest pound-for-pound fighter who ever lived. I can't put Floyd above him.
Yeah.
Any beef?
I agree with you on that. I mean, I've always had Manny Pacquiao above Floyd pound for pound, and just in the history of boxing, you never heard of a guy that could go from those weight classes and still dominate, knocking out Cotto, knocking out Ricky Hatton with one shot, destroying Oscar De La Hoya. Made him look like he was nothing.
Joe Rogan praised Manny Pacquiao's greatness, calling it unbelievable how he defeated Keith Thurman while in his 40s, facing a fighter in his prime.
Down Thurman in that fight, I was like, this is crazy. Yeah. This guy's 40 years old and still can crack and still as fast as lightning.
Yeah, the power that he possesses, but it's not a thumping power, it's that explosive speed, that explosive power, the footwork he gets in position, and all of a sudden he's landed 3, 4, 5 shots and then he's angled off. A lot like I did in my fight against Lopez. A lot of that sparring paid off and it did shape me. And I know he did put out a tweet as well, saying that I hope the sparring we did, helped you in this fight, and straight away.
That's amazing.
And I was so excited. He's a legend of the sport.
He is a legend, and he's such an unusual guy. You know what's crazy about him is his calves.
Yeah.
When you look
massive.
at that, they're giant. They're like a thigh.
And I know the reason.
Rogan highlighted how Pacquiao's speed, timing, and experience allowed him to overcome youth and remain truly exceptional.
I mean, he won world titles in 8 divisions?
8 divisions, 13 or 14 world titles.
Crazy.
It will never be done again.
Crazy.
And as much as you want to see records broken, and I want to break records, that man is a one of one.
Teddy Atlas holds great respect for Manny Pacquiao's unique status in boxing history. In his view, age is not the defining factor when it comes to greatness, especially not in the case of a fighter like Manny.
Manny is one of a kind. And I would not bet, I wouldn't be shocked to see him do something that is very, very, could be, very unlikely that at 46 years of age that he could do that. I've seen him in camp, and that they've seen something special. They've seen a 46-year-old that maybe they thought when camp started, hey, this is wrong. But it's Manny Pacquiao, we're going to go along with and see how it looks. And then all of a sudden they say, oh my God, it's possible. Oh my God, Manny, you're starting to make me think maybe it's possible. I'm going to hope that he's got people around him of that ilk, of human beings, not just professionals, but human beings that have seen something to continue to go forward with this fight. Or if they didn't, would have said, you know what? No, I can't be part of this. So just on that alone, I'm gonna have hope for them. I'm gonna give them credit that they're thinking that.
Atlas also stresses that Pacquiao is surrounded by seasoned professionals, trainers, medical staff, and former champions who would never allow him to risk his health if they truly felt he couldn't handle it.
Never stationary. Man is always on the move. You understand me? What has happened in boxing is a lot of people have lost the art of footwork. You understand me? Not many people have footwork. So if you see a guy go out and box like you'll never see in today's time too often, a guy go out and box like Sugar Leonard boxed Marvin Hagler. Right. He moved around, he fought when it was time, he moved when it was time. He understood how to use the whole ring to get a victory. Now guys don't do that. Pac-Man, fortunately, is one of those guys who knows how to use the ring. Nowadays, with how things go, and with Manny being who Manny is, if Manny can get to 12 rounds, Manny gonna win the fight.
Roy Jones Jr. respects fighters who are students of the game. And in Manny Pacquiao, he sees a master of ring IQ. According to Roy, Pacquiao's ability to control angles, manage distance, and use the entire ring is second to none. He emphasizes that Manny hasn't stopped training. Even outside of active competition, he remains in fighting shape. If he manages to execute his current training form inside the ring and can last all 12 rounds with the same energy and pace, Roy believes Pacquiao has a real shot at victory. Manny is never stationary.
But Manny has one of the bigger outputs for any fighter of any era. Right. He's a guy that don't mind throwing 3 and 4 and 5 punches at a time. He's not one of those guys that won't throw 4 or 5 punches if he see it. That being said, the only concern I have is how will his leg.
What makes Manny Pacquiao special is that he does everything so good. He has great footwork, he has good ring IQ, good defensive slips, good combinations, and I think most importantly of all, he's in there willing to go to war with anybody. So that's really what makes him more important. The most special thing about him is his spirit and his will to fight. I think Manny Pacquiao at age 46 is gonna look amazing in my opinion. He has all the experience in the world. He's seen every single fighter, and if he's coming back at 46, is because he definitely wants to come back and win another world title. I think that one of the oldest world champions has been Bernard Hopkins when he fought at age 49. So Pacquiao is barely 46 right now. He's a young 46. So I think he still has a lot left.
For him, it's not just about raw talent anymore. It's about ring intelligence, stamina, and execution. All areas in which Manny still...
Mayweather just did such a smart thing, but also a devious thing. Waiting until Pacquiao was older, waiting until he slowed down, and then...
Devious is not illegal in boxing.
It's encouraged.
Yeah. In any entrepreneurial sport, devious is not illegal.
No.
Devious can be an asset.
That's how you retire with a 50-0
I give
record.
Floyd credit for brilliance, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Floyd wasn't just a smart fighter. Floyd was a brilliant fighter. He was on his own level. And so much so, in any matchup between the great counterpuncher and the great attacker, that the counterpuncher has the advantage. He's got more options. He's got more ways of winning. The attacker has to break through the wall, so to speak.
David Benavidez sees Pacquiao as the embodiment of a complete fighter. According to him, what separates Manny from others is not just speed or power. It's how well-rounded he is. From footwork and combinations to defense and ring awareness, Pacquiao excels across the board. But what really stands out to Benavidez is Manny's passion. Every movement, every punch, and every training session carries intensity and purpose. His training camp reflects that energy, filled with high-level preparation, sparring, and discipline. Benavidez believes that this combination of passion, versatility, and strength is what still makes Manny a dangerous fighter.
Former opponents, Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, 10 years after the fact. You're talking about running it back. What's your thoughts on that?
It should have happened a long time ago, obviously. I don't mind it because it'll be entertaining. I'm curious to see how Mayweather will react to Pacquiao's style again, you know? Mayweather's Mayweather. He has a great style, great defense. Probably the same thing will
about. It will go on their record. Floyd currently has a record of 50-0. Remember, he retired at 50-0. It is possible he could go either 51-0 or now 50-1, or if it was a draw or whatever. But he's at least putting it up to be part of the professional record. Now, you might say, well, hasn't he been doing a lot of exhibitions since his retirement from boxing? And the answer is yes, about 8 of them or so. I believe he's got, by the way, a 9th coming up in April in the Democratic Republic of the Congo against, of all people, Mike Tyson. Also, just as a fresh reminder, the first fight, I didn't hate it, but a lot of people did. And remember, you'll recall Manny Pacquiao, after the fight was over, blamed his performance on his shoulder. But there was pretty widespread disappointment with just how big the fight was and then how little it delivered. Not necessarily to hardcore fans, although some of that too, but definitely to casual fans who were expecting a little bit more rock'em sock'em.